talking about a 50-liter system. You know, many years ago we actually worked on 2 liters, 5 liters, and we've slowly developed up to 20. But we're at the point where we can actually get the throughput with a head this size that will allow us to be able to run a 50-liter and not have too much degradation. But the development of like all of the glassware and all of the work that we've had here has just been years of trial and error. I mean, the heads today don't look anything like they did a number of years ago, probably 6 or 7 years ago. Like you'd never imagine that this existed. But even in the pathways and stuff that we have coming up here in our system, where you have what's called the fraction collector, you have this extra chamber where everything can drain down. You have this extra condensing coil up here that's able to recondense in this system to where you imagine you have a liquid or a vapor body that literally just grabs onto these coils and just drops right down. And it's a concept that we've really just, I don't know, pulled out of nowhere and to be able to develop. But with these systems, you know, we've been able to get up to 12 liters an hour on a 50-liter system, which means that we can pretty much go all the way up to a run this size in the main body fraction, end up adding about 3 to 4 hours total, which is insane because it used to be about 300 milliliters on a 2-liter system, and those were long hours even then. But the development has been just unbelievable, and the ability to actually create these things in this industry has really changed how things work. We now are also working with outlet pumps that allow us to actually pull directly out of the system from vacuum. This system will work at, you know, almost space vacuum and still be able to pump directly out of it into a jar. We've also developed, which this is actually kind of not fitting quite right at the moment, but we've developed an ability to actually look at the different fractions that are coming through and being able to tell digitally what's going through, even on a system as big and almost analog as this looks. We're able to actually really measure stuff precisely. With systems like this, we're actually able to introduce gases that will help propel vapors through the system as well. There's just a lot of technology that we've put together that can actually make this thing maximum, as max efficient as possible. Measuring vacuum in multiple places, multiple style cold traps that are able to catch different fractions, and you know, a system this big, you know, the amount of fractions you would end up having, being able to just control it is just unbelievable.
The ability to isolate such specific compounds so precisely.
Yeah,
is just
especially with the pump. I mean, you can literally pull out a fraction, you go, that's not it, and then you turn it off, switch back.
Right there on site without having to change the jar, without having to change the flask. There's nothing on the vacuum to have to pull off to worry about any longer, which is, you know, game changing.
Yeah, and you can fill on the go. You're sitting there with somebody, and they're like, "Oh, yeah, we need to send this to lab right now." You have that first one coming out. You're not waiting for a 50-liter to finish. Which, you know, depending on how fast you're actually doing this run and how much material you have in there, you might take 7 to 12 hours, depending on how you like running. But what we've really tried to design is the ability to be as max efficient as possible, even scaling up to this size. But if you want to test your run, you have the ability to do it on top. Yeah, and here it's kind of exploring. There's a bunch of stuff to actually look at here. But this bed in particular, it's just got so much development. I mean, we've spent thousands of hours really to work on this.